everybody. Happy new month. It's October now. It's officially October. So what? 2 more months before the year's over. Oh my gosh, just last year we were crazy with the whole pandemic, and then now we're like vaccinated and all, so things are looking up. I haven't taken the vaccine yet. But we just want to say welcome to the show. Once again, welcome to Eye to Eye. You know, I'm usually here with Lady D, Lady Danny, where we just have conversations surrounding our Haitian community, local and abroad, just, you know, current events or anything that we feel up to conversation at the time. But I don't have Lady D, we'll call her Lady D3. I'm D1. D2, shout out to D2. I'm doing it for Lady D3 this time. She'd be like, see yourself, Papa Doc. She's gonna kill me. But anyways, she's not here on this episode because I have a special guest I'm about to introduce you to briefly. So she'll be here with us on the next episode. But definitely, we're still going to look forward to your comments, your thoughts. So we really appreciate you guys always tuning in, always showing the support. Thank you for the love, the shares, and all of it. So at this time, it's October, right? Last episode, we mentioned that it was also Hispanic Heritage Month. So Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September 15th all the way through October 15th. I have no idea why they split the month like that. But I do have Maria Martinez here with us. She might be able to shed some light on that for us. So I want to say, hola Maria y bienvenido, bienvenido, estado, esperando.
Oh, here she goes with her Spanish. I don't, you know, she's been claiming that she needs lessons, but I don't think she needs lessons. I think she's doing pretty okay. What do you guys think?
All I said was hola. How am I doing pretty okay con hola?
Well, you know, I have voice notes to prove it, and I'll be happy to share them with the crowd. If anyone, you know, guys give me a holler. If she ever tries to deny it, you know, I got the proof. She pretends now it's just a holla or hola, but you know, she can go on and saying full on sentences. I can tell you that much.
Well, hoy tú estás a nuestro programa. Bienvenido, ¿sí? That's my one.
Gracias, Sabine. Muchas gracias. Estoy muy bien. ¿Y tú cómo estás? Te ves muy bonita.
Oh, muchas gracias. Yo trato.
Me gustan tus aretes, me gusta tu atuendo aquí en la cabeza, muy lindo.
África.
Los aretes están muy bonitos.
Muchas gracias, chica. Igualmente.
Gracias.
So, it is national, well, not national, but Hispanic Heritage Month. So basically, yes, it's a holiday celebrated by, I guess, all the Latinos, all the Hispanics that are in America.
Yeah, like, you know the trend here in America, we have like months to celebrate different cultures. You know, we have Black History Month, we have Hispanic Heritage Month. We have the time frame where we celebrate the LGBTs. And, you know, as we dig into history and this and that, we recognize different cultures and communities here in the U.S. Yes, we are very big here in Miami with our Haitian festivities. I was just about to get there, but you know, we leave the best for last, right? And I'm very aware because I have my neighbor here from Orlando that makes sure also to make me aware. And I know she won't come to visit me, but hello, here comes all the Haitian events, and you know, she'll be here in a heartbeat. And I live right by Little Haiti, so you know, I can't miss the festivities or the restaurants and the food. I had many co-workers from Haiti, so I've tried the food as well. You know, during Black History Month.
You don't even know sac passe, Maria.
The sac passe. Well, I mean, I've heard, look at your teeth; they're so pretty. You should be like in a Colgate or teeth whitening commercial.
Oh gosh, this girl. Okay. my God, I'm loving this conversation already. So I do have questions for you though. I do have questions only because you know, us Haitian, I guess we're in everybody's mixes, right? We're in everybody's sauce, if you want to call it that. Like I don't know that when other people are doing their Heritage Month that they bring Haitians into it. But Haitians, like, we share with everybody, we love on everybody, we recognize everybody, right? We'll give shout outs to everybody's different things on our pages, on our Instagrams, whatever social media platform. Like, we try to recognize everybody. Even now with Haitian, I keep saying Haitian, with Hispanic Heritage Month, right? So I know a lot of Haitians, even though they may not be of Hispanic descent per se, according to how I guess the government is calling it, but a lot of Haitians speak Spanish. A lot of them are all over the place, especially in the Caribbeans. They're like in Brazil. Brazil's not really part of the Hispanic crew, but Chile, you know, so Cuba. Cuba actually has Creole as one of their native languages. So basically Haitians are all over. So if you say this party, we can participate. You say that party, we can participate. But the other way around, like if they're doing their own thing, they probably don't, like when we having our own Haitian Heritage Month, I don't see nobody posting us nowhere and say congratulations to my Haitian people celebrating their Flag Day today or their Independence Day today. Thank you for being the first Black Republic, the first free Black Republic that gave us our freedom. Now we can follow your footsteps. So
well, I guess because what they do is like, if you like, Haiti is the country, and in Hispanic Heritage Month, we're not really celebrating a country. It's really a race. Same with Black History Month. It'll encompass a group of people, and the same thing. It's not like Hispanic Heritage Month is not really focusing on a specific country, whether it is Colombia or anything. It's in general. The Hispanic, the race, the community, the people. But it's not really like a Colombian holiday or a Mexican holiday, or however they do have that Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, but I know the name probably already says it all, but can you tell us what does the Hispanic Heritage Month celebrate?
Yeah, originally it used to be just 1 week, and it wasn't until like a few years ago that it became like a whole month celebration. But we really celebrate the Latino heritage, and it's done yearly. It started with Lyndon B. Johnson it was a week when he signed it in like the 1960s. He signed it into law. And it wasn't until later, I believe it was Reagan or Bush Sr. that made it like the whole month. And it's just when you recognize the Latino, sorry, are you there?
Yeah.
During that month, September 15th to October 15th, you celebrate the Latino heritage. We recognize it, the achievements of Latinos in history. And it's just like a time that we take advantage of the time to like pass on the beauty of the Latino culture to like the children, our descendants, and we expose them at schools also to learning about a diverse group of people and the new cultures. During this month, they do parades, and this is actually not a holiday that is celebrated in our Latin American countries. It's celebrated here in America. It originated here in America, and I guess it's because of that diversity that we have here in the United States. We have people from all over the world, so many Latinos too, and it's also, a good time to teach the children about their heritage, about their food, the culture, and the people that have contributed to our, society that are of Hispanic origin.
So, okay, there was an argument. I don't know how true that is because I actually haven't researched it, but some people were trying to say like Latinos was basically anybody who's part of Latin America or whose language derives from Latin, like you're part of the Romance languages. And so that would make us, Haiti, the Haitians, Latinos on a technicality. Well, But some people are saying, no, that is not the case. And others are saying, well, Latino is anybody in Latin America. So,
you know, like if you, in actuality, the term Latino, it's used here in North America, and it's anyone of Latin American origin. So if you have any Latin American origin in you, then you could call and you are a Latino, or you could refer to yourself as a Latino.
Okay, well, that I would have to dig into to find out, like, are we Latin American? Because we basically just go with the fact that we're just Caribbean, so that part died out, and a lot of people don't even speak Latin anymore anyways. So it's like,
yeah, and like then the Hispanic, it usually refers to people with the background in a Spanish-speaking country, and Latino is typically used to identify people who are from Latin America. So it's now they have this new term Latinx as well. But yeah, I would love to learn more about the connection between what you're referring to. Are Haitians considered Latinos?
yeah. Yeah, I prefer to call myself Taino. I'm okay with being. I don't know about the others. Now, if it's on for Spanish-speaking countries, so does that mean if you're from like Spain, you could still celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month? Because I know for Hispanics, it's like in America, the Hispanics are certain groups, though. It feels like it's not every Spanish-speaking person.
I think it's just like Latinos in general, but you know, it's funny because I just like quickly Googled, are Haitians Latinos? And what I'm getting here off of Google, I just have to read it, but it says Haitians are Latinos in big bold letters.
Wow.
And it says Haiti is the first independent Latin American country. Haitians speak a French dialect. French is a Latin-based language, just as Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and Romanian are. So there you have it. I mean, I'm not an expert in any of these topics. I may be an expert using Google and paraphrasing stuff, but there you have it, like in big bold letters. Let me see if I can show you.
Probably cannot. But I do have another question for you regarding Hispanic Heritage Month. I just wanted to know, like, then what do you guys do for that month? Like, I know what we do for Haitian Heritage Month, what certain cities do, certain people. A lot of people don't take Haitian Heritage Month the same as they just look forward
Sorry, I had a connection issue. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. What?
I can't hear you.
I was asking you a question.
Are you on mute?
No.
I can't hear. I hear you very, very low.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulty. These are the times that we wish D2 was around to just come and fix. It looks like I probably have lost Maria for a little bit, so hopefully she'll come back on. I don't know if it's her internet, her Wi-Fi, what she's on. I'm seeing signs that she's connecting. Can you hear me now, Maria?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you before.
Bueno, bienvenido back.
Thank you.
So I had a question for you, but I don't think you heard it, so I'm going to re-ask it again. I just want to know, like, what exactly do you guys do for Hispanic Heritage Month? Like, how do you guys celebrate it? What happens in that month? Like, some people, like for us, you know, on Haitian Heritage Month, we can have parades, we can have concerts, we can have, you know, all kinds of things, but we're really looking forward to Haitian Flag Day. Well, I'm really looking forward to Haitian Flag Day, which is May 18th. But I wanted to know, like, what do the Hispanics do that stands out? That's something, because I actually haven't really heard of Hispanic Heritage Month. I've heard it from church because we have ministers who are Hispanic. So they may do like a song or something. I know when I first came to America, before I let you go.
Okay, so yeah.
Of English, right? I didn't speak a lick of English, but my ESL teacher was teaching me Spanish songs.
I'm in a meeting.
I have a whole bunch of Spanish songs You might have to mute. That I learned when I didn't even know how to say, what is your name? That was the only English I had.
How old were you when this happened?
It's irrelevant, but I'm just saying.
How is this a meeting?
Oh, gosh. Really? Wow. Hello, Sebastian. I guess he just did a little cameo. Yeah, so I learned Que Bonita Bandera, and it was a song for Puerto Ricans. I don't know if anybody still plays this song till this day, but it was like, Que Bonita Bandera, Que Bonita Bandera, Que Bonita Bandera.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very popular song.
I'm telling you, I'm like, what's my English? The teacher, I don't know. But anyways, tell us what happens. Or
well, you know, everything that you mentioned that you guys do for Flag Day, it's pretty much what we do here for Hispanic Heritage Month. The thing is that what happens is, like, you know, that there's these two big, mainly two TV channels in the US, Univision and Telemundo, and the Hispanic community will be in tune with these channels, and there are certain newspapers or websites where you find out about these events. So maybe that's why you haven't really heard about any of them, because they're not really advertised on American TV, because who goes to the festivals? It's not that they're not open to everybody, because they're very welcoming to everyone and open to the public. But we do have like concerts, there's parades, there are TV specials. At schools, they have festivities that are celebrated, like my older son's school used to have a food festival. So every grade would be assigned a country, and they would have to bring in food and set up a table with food from that country. And obviously it would be for sale. Like, they'd work with a restaurant that would make that food from that specific country, bring it in, and then they would sell it. When I was teaching in high school, what I do too, as part of an activity, is like I would assign a Hispanic personality that had made contributions, and I'd have them do research and then present that to the class. Or I would pick myself sometimes a character each week, or a few characters, and we would discuss them in class. So
nice. See, I like that. So this is for maybe the kids who are born here who don't really know their roots. Is that the reasoning behind celebrating Heritage Month for you guys?
No, this was the origin. You know, it actually had to do, what I've read is that it has to do, you know, how it originated with Lyndon B. Johnson, that it had to do with these dates in relation to the independence of Mexico. And that happened around the beginning of September. And then the Chile and Belize followed, and that they were celebrating week. And
I'm losing you slightly,
because they connected it to other special dates. So
can you say that part again, because you were in
so that's really it.
Huh?
Which part? Which part?
When you started talking about Mexico.
Well, yeah, the Mexican Independence Day, the I guess the original date, it fell sometime in September, and they chose to celebrate that week in connection to that date, and some big event that's like the Cry of Dolores. It had to do with like a priest ringing in the church bells, and it was like signaling that they were going to fight for the independence, and that. So that big event, it's called like the Cry of Dolores. That's what I read about. And that's why they gave it not one day, but like a week, and then a month, because their country claimed their independence, and they were, I really don't know how they were celebrating that, like, here, and how it came to be that President Lyndon B. Johnson decided to celebrate the Heritage.
Yeah, I think I remember something
week
about that, because I remember reading something about the Mexican getting their independence, because I think that's how they started the whole Cinco de Mayo stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is that in reality, this was September the 16th, and it was like 3 countries that became independent from, like, in a row, independent from Spain, Mexico, Chile, and Belize. Those 3 countries.
Okay. Okay. Well,
And then in 1988, which is not too long ago, if you think about it, that's when it became a month. And it was like George W. Bush who proclaimed it.
wait, senior or
Senior, yeah. It was like, when he was the president in 1988.
okay. So I want to say that I do think we helped out with the Mexican. We helped out with everybody's fight. First of all, we helped out with everybody's fight. The Haitians, I mean, I know for a fact with Venezuela, we've definitely helped them out. I think till this day we have very strong relations with them. I guess at the time it was with Simon Bolivar. We had our president Alexandre Pétion, who decided to, like, give him materials, I guess, in return to say, free the slaves, do not sell any more slaves, abolish slavery. I was like, oh, look at that. Look at us, just, I think once everybody heard that we got our freedom, it just sent panic through everybody else, thinking that if we let this continue, then everybody's going to want their freedom. It's not going to look good for us. And I get it, because it's like, if somebody robbed your house and I'm your neighbor, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start locking up all my possessions too, because I don't want to be the next house getting robbed, So I'm guessing from that standpoint, they created alliances to make sure that this wouldn't happen. But the work was already, the domino effect was already taking place. And so Haitians just jumped to the next boat and helped them out. Colombia was one of them, Cuba. Now, this question just came to mind. You are Colombian, right? I wanted to ask you, you did your schooling down there, right? When you went to your school, did they say anything or teach you guys anything about Haiti in your history books?
I actually graduated from high school here, and what you do in history, you really don't do much of world history there in elementary school. And then the upper grades here, I did 2 years of history here, mainly focused on the US. I believe I had a credit for like world history, but I don't have like specific recollection of it.
That's the thing. I'm like, for something this big, slaves freed themselves, and a lot of the conversation seems to have been word of mouth type of thing, meaning, it's not in the books. But I guess in a way you were in a different country, so they probably was mostly speaking about their countries and the neighbors and things like
yeah, we did. And then our surrounding countries as well, Venezuela, Ecuador, and obviously because we were freeing ourselves from the Spaniards, so that was like I guess the main focus.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I don't know how much of this you actually know, but I'm just curious to know, based on what you do know, do you feel, or do you think that Latin American countries owe Haiti in any way, shape, or form?
I think not only Latin American countries, because it is known that you guys did send a lot of soldiers to play for different wars.
Yep.
So it's not only Latin America, but I think like the US too, like big time.
Yeah, and it's the US that was the main person that never wanted to accept that we became a free, independent nation. I guess till this day, we're practically still paying for it. I mean, this is conversations we have over and over. And by now, I'm hoping all the millennials know this truth, know this fact, that we were the first free Black republic, and other people did not like that fact. And so they wanted to keep it under wraps and not let it be known, just so that other slave revolts wouldn't start spurring around. So they had their reasoning behind it. And so I think part of that probably left our economy weak. And we are a resilient bunch, but there's a lot of things that we do need to get in order as well, to stand solid. Definitely to unify ourselves and bring ourselves back to the place or to the point where we once were, tourism and everybody else was coming into the country. It was the best place. Like I've seen a lot of old videos that's saying like, Haiti's great. Haiti's so great to the point where the Clintons actually, that's where they went for their honeymoons,
To Haiti?
Yeah. Yeah, they own a lot. That's a different topic.
Uh-huh. They own property there?
Of course. I mean, America is basically and just so extra heavily involved in Haiti. Like, I don't know, they've juiced out everything we have and they still keep sucking the blood out. I'm not a politician. I don't really know how that stuff works, but it's like, okay, we want to say enough is enough. Like, let's take care of us at that point. And so with the Hispanic Heritage Month, I figured like, let me bring you in and find out what's going on. Now, I want to ask you, do you know about Grand Colombia? I think I read something about a Grand Colombia. I'm like, you from Colombia. You definitely know what that is.
Grand, like meaning like big? Is like grand in English or the grand in Spanish?
Well, grand English and Spanish is the same. But it's like, I guess they call it Grand Colombia because it's a little sector of different Hispanic countries that makes up the Grand Colombia. I think it's like Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru. I think I want to say Guyana's part of it and part of Brazil,
it's Panama, which was originally a part of Colombia. Ecuador and Venezuela are neighbors. Peru and Brazil. And present day Colombia.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what that is. I thought I just heard about it. I figured, oh, she's from Colombia. I'll ask her.
I mean, is that, I don't know if that's something that we still use today or if it's just like a part of history, but it's like, I really don't know much about it. I mean, I do know the countries that formed it, but I think that like centuries ago, it's like no longer, I mean, it is known as something that it was, not that something that it is.
Okay, it's probably like Creole, because I actually find out that Creole, like we speak Creole, we call ourselves Creole, from Creole, Guest Creole. But I'm finding out that when you said Creole, it was actually a class. Like you were like aristocratic if you were.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, that was from Spain, not Spanish, back in the 16th century. So supposedly if you were part of the colonizers, I'm trying to figure out what would a modern day translation somewhat be. Maybe like.
So it's like you would say, you would use it as an adjective, like he is or she is Creole.
Well, now we can say that. Yeah, I'm Creole. I would say I'm Creole. I'm Taino. I'm Haitian, But at the time, I guess, basically, like, for example, can I use Simon Bolivar? I could probably use Simon Bolivar because he came from a wealthy family. He was well-to-do, and he was part of the Hispanic crew. So he would be considered a Creole.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a Creole if you're rich, if you have high class. But basically, I know they were saying like if you were part of the colonizers, like you were a leader of the colonizing countries, like that group, that top part is considered the Creole, like the creme de la creme of the people.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that
language. It was just.
I mean, I do hear Creole here a lot because, for example, like my son's school or documents that you get when you're registering to vote or whatever memos I get from my son's school, they come in 3 languages, Creole, Spanish, and English.
Nice.
And when you call, you have the option. Lots of automated systems. They, one for English, two for Spanish, three for Creole. So it is, it is big here. We have a large Haitian population and a lot Latino population. So the language is, it's, you see the form written in all three languages.
Yeah, that's great because I know in some parts that was a big complaint. We said if it was Hispanic people, they would already had this in Spanish. How come they don't have it in English? I mean, in Creole as well. So that was a big push. And I know now in areas that have a big migration of Haitians, they actually start to have Creole translations. I hear it at the Miami airport too. I was like, oh, I know what they're saying. That's my language.
Yeah.
I definitely get. Now let me bring your attention to what's happening at the border. I don't know how much of that you know about the immigration situation in Texas. Like what do you think of the fact that Mexico is allowing Haitians to stay on their side, camp out there, do their thing, and then you have America that's over here treating them in such a inhumane condition, regardless of, I guess, why they're there. It's the fact that the treatment is so horrid.
I don't know. Like I did hear and read about the administration condemning what was happening at the border patrol. I I mean I it was horrible to watch, and it just brought me to thinking when the VP went down. I don't know if she went to Honduras, and she gave this speech about all these warnings, like you better not come to the United States, and like I don't know if she mentioned any consequences, but she was like very firm military style, speaking to Honduras and saying that you people who should stop crossing the border, you're not wanted, and this and that, um and then I don't know, like, why are Venezuelans and Cubans getting asylum and all these protections? What about everyone else? Like, I don't know enough about the topic to tell you or give you details, but to me it's something very sketchy. um this Florida and Miami, it's like overloaded with Cubans and Venezuelans, and they all have jobs and they all have green cards. And then I'm like,
Yes.
why are they doing this at the border? Like, how are these people able to come in? If you help one, you help the other. You can't be like selective. So I don't understand what's behind it, and I want to know. I'd like to know more about it. I just feel like there's so much going on right now with like the COVID, and obviously I did see like the Palestine and the refugees and the ending the war, and so obviously people are outraged. I follow all of these accounts in these activist accounts on Instagram. That's really like my source of news. I feel like the news channels are very like sensationalist.
Yep.
And I don't like that. And they're also very selective. It's like they choose to report and let you know about what they want you to know. And there's other things out there, they don't talk about Palestine anymore. So how do I know what's going on? Because I'm on Instagram and I'm in tune with all these activists.
That's true.
So
they move on. They move the news rather quickly, and the stuff that they want you to know about, they'll sit on it for a good minute. Like, for example,
yeah, and I don't like that, so I don't watch the news, live news. So I do know that the spokesperson for the White House was asked by a reporter. I didn't follow through on the story, but when this first came out, she was just saying that she was really hesitant about speaking on the topic because she, I guess, was referring to the images as something that came to a surprise, and that they were investigating. So she wasn't going to make any comment on it because it was all under investigation. Then I saw comments on Instagram saying that they created, saying that the media had created a story based on the images, that he wasn't really using the whip to scare them away, that they try to change the story. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I saw what I saw. So, don't try to BS your way out of this,
Exactly. And I think the Biden team, they were definitely getting some heat for that. So I guess they probably was putting those kind of news out there to be like, oh, that's not really what happened. It was misconstrued or something. And supposedly they have moved some of those people away from under the bridge, but they are still deporting them. I'm pretty sure there's still going to be bad treatment, even if it's not televised. It's still going to be the injustices, even if it's not televised. But I was just basically trying to see like the difference. Like, you have two countries, Mexico, US. Mexico is cool with the Haitians, and US have this kind of a treatment. So to me, I just felt like.
So to me, it's still like, I know like last week, Biden was outraged. He expressed outrage about it. And the VP had said that she actually made the comparison of like the treatment of Haitian immigrants at the border by the patrol agents. She compared it to like the oppression of the indigenous people and African Americans during slavery. And that's what I was thinking of. I didn't live in those times, but you've seen images, you've read the stories and all of that. And that's what they said. And they keep saying that this is under investigation. I really hope that those guys are put in check. I've like seen movies of the horrible treatment, and these people are human beings. Like there's no way someone would risk their life crossing waters, jungles, whatever you want to call it, just because I felt like it. I just feel like fancy myself and I want to be in the US or whatever. Like something's going on. People coming with you see the pictures, you see what these people look like. They look like they're in pain. So, even the little kids that were portrayed at the border in Mexico that were separated from their families, like you keep hearing these horror stories, and it's kind of like you're sending billions of dollars in weapons to Israel, but then you can't give a lending hand to these people that are actually in need. Israel doesn't freaking need like money for weapons. What the heck?
Exactly. And they pick and choose when these stories are convenient to be released, because it felt like, a lot of these things are a political move, because it's not only Haitians that's at the border, but yet right now they're the one at the forefront. They're the one getting, the limelight, if you want to call it that. And just prior to, we knew we had a lot of Afghans that just came in, and America was just, I guess, in their country. So because they came in, they got a different kind of a welcoming, like basically everybody went through, but the other folks are just getting deported left and right. So again, they use this stuff at their advantage. And I think too, some of those people are being misinformed, because I don't know why all these people would come out there if they didn't think, something could have been done. And that's Venezuelans, that's Ecuadorian, that's Chileans, that's Brazilians, So it's not just Haitians that's coming through at the end of the day. But I'm like, it's Hispanic Historic Month. Hopefully maybe that's why the Mexicans are being a little bit more lenient. But I don't know us to have issues with Mexico ever.
I mean, Mexico, I don't know. Mexico, what am I thinking of right now? I'm thinking that they were in a battle with President Trump with the whole wall business.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump said that they needed to fund it. Mexico said, no, we're not funding them. I know I have students that came here illegally, that came here with coyotes that risked their lives crossing the border illegally. And I also have students that and they lived in Mexico actually before they came here. And they spoke highly of Mexico. I don't know really details. They don't, it's not something that was discussed in depth, but I do know that I had a few students that had lived in Mexico before crossing over here.
Yeah, I definitely haven't had any bad run-in with Mexicans. I don't know when was the last time I actually seen one, but I think I would definitely put them on my good side. So, well, I am actually running out of time, but I do have one last question to ask just so I could bring this all home. So thank you so much for sharing and for being here with us. My final question for you is, well, I guess that should have been the first question. Why is Hispanic Heritage Month important?
Well, I mean, it is important as because it's like a chance for people to know about our history and learn about contributions being made, and a chance to, I guess, for the rest of the people in the U.S. also to learn a little bit about our ethnicity and about our countries. And it's a month of celebrating our race, the history, the heritage. And what I know was, like, as a teacher, that was like a big deal at schools, and I've seen it with my kids. They have different kinds of activities for Hispanic History Month, and we also do for Black History Month. I also worked with the kids, and we actually put on assemblies, because these are kids that my kids specifically that come from Central America, South America. They don't know much about Black history here in America. And so it's an opportunity for us to teach them about the struggles. We watch movies for Black History Month, educational movies where, like, they learn, and it's like a nice learning experience. And we, as I told you, because we have a large Haitian community here. My school was, I'd say 50-50, African Americans and Cubans. And I was the only Colombian there, but there were Venezuelans, Cubans, because we had to teach the kids in Spanish. But it was very nice because we would always come together during Black History Month festivities and Hispanic heritage festivities, and we would learn about each other's cultures. And I'm not gonna lie, my favorite part was the food, because we had people bringing in food from all over South America, and also we had co-workers from Haiti, Jamaica, and they would come in and make food, and it was just like a very nice experience.
So do you think that the message gets across, like what you guys are trying to demonstrate about Hispanic heritage? Because it sounds like it's fairly new enough that I haven't really seen anything. Not like Cinco de Mayo, like that stuff you hear and you kind of know, oh, happy hour, oh, this.
Yeah, but the thing that with Cinco de Mayo is a different story, because that's all commercial. It's like it's a retail stunt to sell you stuff and drinks and t-shirts. But that's not the case. We didn't invent Hispanic Heritage Week or month. This was like done by politicians. I guess in commemoration or celebration or recognition, you may want to say. So and it's not celebrated outside of here. It's celebrated. I honestly, Florida may be bigger on it than we both lived in Jersey. It wasn't that big in Jersey. So it might be like some states are bigger on it than others.
I think so. I think that's probably what it is, because I'm like, it's not big like the other holidays that you may have heard of Hispanic origin, But,
and if you think about it, like I'm just thinking about Black History Month. Like my Santi knew who Martin Luther King was since like age 3 or 4, But when and they know about his famous speech. So not that we're going to teach about in schools about any contributions that Hispanics made. I don't consider it as important as it was to learn about Martin Luther King, but it's really for the Hispanics to celebrate, and kind of like, I don't know, like,
the month, you might as well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, you do go to the festivities and you just celebrate. But for schools is a big deal because then these kids are learning about their heritage.
That's really awesome. Yeah. So how many countries have you actually visited? I know you've been to Colombia, but how many countries that are Hispanic that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I've not only been to Colombia, I lived in Colombia. I've been to Turkey, I've been to Israel, I've been
Turkey's
to
no, Spanish countries.
Oh, Spanish. I've been to Puerto Rico, I've been to Dominican Republic. I've been to I think Colombia.
Lived there.
That's actually Mexico, and I've been to Mexico. Yeah, so really only 4.
Wow.
I don't think I've been to. I'm like trying to think. Oh, Panama.
Okay. So was there any differences in culture really, or did you just like blend in like a local just fine?
No, I mean, like in Mexico, I pretty much went to tourist locations, so it was just you didn't really, I guess, the taste of the culture. But you don't really see it, and especially like I went to Cancun. It's like mostly all Americans. And yeah, Puerto Rico was very nice. I was in San Juan and I traveled around San Juan and El Yunque and Loquillo. People there were very, very nice. Dominican Republic, they were also very, very nice. I was in Puerto Plata and I was in Santo Domingo. That's where the airport is. Punta Cana is all mainly tourist, and it's kind of like the hotel area is kind of like secluded, but I should travel a little more.
Definitely you should travel a little more. But okay, so you're gonna travel a little more, you're gonna teach me more Spanish so that I can become fluent like you. And
Okay.
cuando vamos a empezar mi clase de español?
We can start tomorrow.
No te creo. But anyways, guys, we are definitely running out of time. So there you have it. You got a little history. You got a little side dish note about what it is to celebrate, what it's like, I should say, to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So it's basically like our heritage too, where you just celebrate the ancestries, you celebrate their achievements, you recognize them, you remember them, you pass on the message to the younger generation so that they could know what was done for them by those people on their behalf. So it's not that different to just commemorate your ancestors by sharing the history, sharing the knowledge, sharing the celebration. And in this case, for the Hispanics, it's Spain, Mexico, Latin America, Central America. So it's that combination that's just coming together, and they have a whole month to, I don't know, spread the love, share the wealth, call it what you want, but then none of them was teaching me Spanish. So that we need to change. But anyways, we want to say thank you guys for tuning in and joining us. Maria, muchas gracias.
Thanks for having me. Adios. Nice talking to you.
She was so quick with her adios. Okay, so.
No, but I'm still here, but you were saying goodbye to me, so I had to answer you, but I'm not going anywhere.
I'm saying
I could start your Spanish lesson right now, in fact. So
that's a whole other episode. Maybe
just to prove you wrong.
Huh?
Just to prove you wrong, because you're trying to say I was trying to like leave. Exit.
Mucho más. So yes, make sure guys you share this. You put if you have any questions for Maria, definitely drop it in the comments. Maria, what's your IG? What's your handle?
For me, my IG, Mafe.
On Facebook.
Mafe's Insta.
Mafe's Insta.
Mafe's _ Insta.
Mafe.
You can add it down below in your comment section.
Yes.
And your caption.
That's what we'll have to do. So make sure you check that out. Again, Lady D is not here. Lady D3 is not here. But on behalf of her, I want to tell you guys, thank you and goodbye. So she's definitely going to greet you and let you guys know how much she missed you guys on the next episode. So stay tuned for that. And I want to thank you guys, of course, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you again for tuning in. And gracias Maria. Thank you.
Adios. Bye.
Bye, guys. See you guys next time.